Happy Friday, ladies and gentlemen. This weekend is the New Mexico Music Educators Association All-State Conference, and I'm presenting for the 5th time on AirPlay and iPads in the music classroom. Now, since I've shared with you a year ago a video all about iPads and AirPlay in the music classroom, I've continued to use all those apps in the classroom. I've just added a few more. So today I thought I'd focus on apps that can be used like instruments for the music classroom. And we'll start today with one that I've kind of already talked about in the past, just going a bit further with it, and that's GarageBand. So in GarageBand you have lots of different setting options. Probably the one that's used the most is the audio recorder, just recording the sound of your voice or any other live sound in the room. Smart drums, smart strings, smart bass, smart keyboard, smart guitar. All these things are taking an idea and making it a little simpler to play on the iPad. Let's start with smart guitar. So with this, rather than having to put my hands on all the frets of the instrument, I can just worry about the chord that I want to play. I hit C, and it plays C for me. From here, there are actually options where you don't actually hit it every time. Instead, you would just hit the chord, and it creates a strumming pattern until you want to change it. There are different options for different kinds of guitars. Now, if that key is not to your liking, you can, of course, change keys. Lots of different options for you to choose from. So as I mentioned before, there are lots of different smart instruments. Smart keyboard is just sort of a variation on the way smart guitar worked. Smart bass works a little differently. It's actually hitting individual strings, because that's how we would use a bass. Smart strings, and you get to choose to cut out certain instruments if you want. Smart drums is a bit more like a drum machine. Move things around again. Or the not so smart drums and the not so smart keyboard work more like your typical drum set and keyboard. It's not necessarily going to feel the same exactly as a drum set, but you'll have at least the illusion of that. And if you get really fancy with it, you can learn how to play things in time. And that's just your regular old keyboard, but you do have the option to do the double-decker if you want. So I just want to show you a couple other apps that I think are pretty cool. One's a little bit expensive, but it's totally fun. And that app is called Thumbjam. Thumbjam looks like this when you're actually in it, and usually it defaults to this sound called dirty organ. And what it is it's just allowing you to make sounds based on where your finger is. Right now it's set up in minor blues, which is a great key to improvise in. Since it's set up so that all the notes will sound right, you're really improvising more rhythmically than you are actually melodically, but it's still kind of a fun experience. In the top right corner, I can change the sounds by changing instrument and changing the scale. Looking at scale options, there are lots of different things, including the common things that we're used to, like chromatic, major, minor, pentatonic, whole tone, major blues, minor blues, rock and roll, but then there are lots of things that I certainly hadn't heard of. Let's see what Balinese pentachord sounds like. And let's play it. Ooh, how about the sawtooth? But what is fun and is free is Launchpad. Launchpad is a fancy decked out drum machine. But what's beautiful about it is that it's kind of idiot-proof. I turn on a loop, and I can turn it off, but it won't stop till it's the end of the loop. I can also add in extra loops, but the next loop won't come in till it's appropriate within the measure. It'll flash until it's time. Basically like making your own rave. On the editing page, there's other drum set sounds you can create as well, including dubstep.
Yeah, this! Yeah, this!
Are these like replicating acoustic instruments but on an iPad? No, it's kind of different, but it's still kind of fun. And for now, a haiku. iPads and AirPlay still are my jam, and these are instrumental apps.